On December 16, 2012, a 22-year-old young woman and her friend were found unconscious by the roadside after a chilling night out. After due investigation by the police, it became known that the young woman was brutally raped by 6 men and her friend beaten to a pulp. The chilling event that unfolded on that day shook the nation of India to its core. The case got the name the Nirbhaya case and is one of the most popular sex crimes in history. As we go into the details of this tragic event, kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel if you find true crime contents interesting. Jyoti Singh was a 21-year-old physiotherapy intern living in Delhi who had her whole life ahead of her. On the 16th of December 2012, Jyoti Singh and her close male friend Awindra Pratap Pandey went out to watch a movie in Munirka, a neighborhood in South Delhi, but little did they know that a tragic event was lurking around the corner. After the movie was over, Jyoti and Awindra boarded a bus around 9:30 p.m. When they got into the bus, they saw some men numbering about 6. Shortly after getting onto the bus, Jyoti Singh's male friend began to have a weird feeling about the bus, and his worst nightmare was about to come to pass. As Awindra's uneasy feeling continued, the bus deviated from its usual route. Jyoti and Awindra asked the driver where he was taking them, and that was when the group of 6 men started threatening Jyoti and her friend. The fierce-looking men began questioning Jyoti and her male friend about what they were doing alone at such a late hour. At this point, things escalated, and they got into a scuffle. The 6 men beat Awindra with an iron rod, who was eventually knocked unconscious. Jyoti, still conscious, became prey to the vicious men who suddenly turned their eyes to her. They took her to the back of the bus and beat her up with an iron rod, then took turns sexually assaulting her. The medical reports later showed that the men that raped Jyoti used a blunt object on her, resulting in severe injuries to her abdomen, intestines, and genitals. According to the police reports, Jyoti tried so hard to fight off the men, leaving bite marks on 3 of her attackers, and this got them angry. After the assault on Jyoti and her friend, they threw them out of the moving bus, but they were later found by a passerby around 11 p.m. The Delhi police got calls from a passerby regarding 2 unconscious people. When the police came, they took Jyoti alongside Awindra to a hospital where Jyoti received emergency care and was on life support. Awindra suffered broken limbs from the attack, but he survived. When the media learned of the attack on Jyoti and Awindra, it sent shockwaves down the entire country. India as a whole was in total disbelief. Jyoti, now enduring multiple surgeries, remained in a critical condition. To ensure the best medical care, the Indian government assembled a committee of doctors to take proper care of Jyoti. On December 26, the doctors made an important decision to transfer Jyoti to a Singapore hospital for an urgent organ transplant. Despite some doctors opposing the transfer due to her fragile state, the decision persisted. During the 6-hour flight to Singapore on December 27, Jyoti suffered a cardiac arrest, plunging into unconsciousness. By December 29, around 5 a.m. in the morning, she died, marking a devastating outcome to a story that had captured the nation's attention. Within a day of the horrifying incident, Delhi police swiftly went into action, identifying the charter bus Jyoti and Awindra took through CCTV footage and capturing the driver, who was 30-year-old Ram Singh. With Awindra's help, sketches of their attackers were now precise. The police also traced the stolen mobile phones of the victims, leading to the capture of all 6 men involved in the ugly crime. The suspects included Ram Singh, the bus driver, his 26-year-old brother Mukesh Singh, 20-year-old Vinay Sharma, an assistant gym instructor, 19-year-old Pawan Gupta, a fruit seller, 17-year-old juvenile Mohammed Afroze, and 28-year-old Akshay Thakur, who had come to Delhi seeking employment. Reports uncovered that earlier on the day of the incident, the group of men had a party and became intoxicated. Despite the bus being prohibited from picking up public passengers due to its tinted windows, Ram Singh, who usually drove the charter bus on weekdays, took it out for an illicit joyride with his companions. This unfortunate decision set events that would lead to a national tragedy. The 6 men, having taken control of the bus, targeted their first victim, a 35-year-old carpenter. After robbing and assaulting him, they callously dumped the man from the bus. Miraculously, the carpenter's injuries were not severe. He reported the incident to the police, potentially preventing a more sinister crime shortly. Despite the carpenter's report, the police failed to take action. Now free from consequences, the attackers continued their spree, hunting for their next unsuspecting target. The window of opportunity to intervene slipped away, setting the stage for the tragic events that followed. Just 5 days after Jody's death on January 3, 2013, the police finally filed charges against the 5 adult men involved. However, the wheels of justice faced further complications with the inclusion of the juvenile, Mohammed Afroz, who was only 17 years and 6 months old on the day of the crime by the Juvenile Justice Board. The Juvenile Justice Board determined that they will not try Mohammed as an adult, leading to a separate trial in a juvenile court. On January 10, legal proceedings commenced, shedding light on the complexities of justice when dealing with a minor involved in such a heinous crime. Adding to the grim narrative, one of the suspect's lawyers shocked the media by attempting to shift blame onto the victims. The lawyer argued that the young couple was responsible for the attack, claiming they should have known better than to use public transportation. This startling defense tactic only intensified the public outrage and underscored the challenges in seeking justice for the victims. The defense also said Jyoti and her friend should not have been roaming around late at night. On March 11, 2013, the lifeless body of Ram Singh, the bus driver, was hanging in the cell he used with 3 other inmates. Authorities were not able to confirm whether it was suicide or murder following public outrage and a demand for a speedy trial. On September 10, 2013, the Court of Delhi found the 4 adults guilty of their crimes, and on September 13, the court sentenced them to death by hanging. After the court pronouncement, everyone was happy, and Jyoti's family felt they got justice. The attorneys for the culprits felt the judgment was too harsh and tried to appeal, but the judge rejected their pleas for a lighter sentence. He said that the crimes they had committed shocked the collective conscience of India, and they would not turn a blind eye to what they had done. The juvenile was also convicted of murder and assault on August 31, 2013, receiving the maximum sentence of 3 years in prison. The juvenile got freedom on December 20, 2015. Even while on death row, Mukesh Singh showed no remorse for the victim. He blamed her for resisting and said she could have been alive if she had allowed them to have their way freely. On March 13, 2014, the Delhi High Court confirmed the death sentences of the 4 men. Every appeal their lawyers filed to the Supreme Court did not see the light of day, and the court upheld their death sentence. Their lawyers even sought mercy from the president, but these efforts were futile, and the 4 convicts were executed in Tihar jail on March 20, 2020. They died after being hanged for 30 minutes. Since the time of the Nirbhaya case, Indian law has been amended to bring harsher punishments for crimes against women. India has amended its criminal laws and investigation procedures and revised the prosecution of juveniles. Section 376 of the Indian Penal Code had an amendment to increase the punishment for rape. Also, the Juvenile Justice Act made it possible to allow minor assailants 16 to 18 years of age to face the law as adults if accused of heinous crimes. Despite all the legal amendments, crimes against women in India are still widespread. Indian experts say that the law and society must evolve hand in hand. There is no question that improper enforcement of rules needs fixing, and facilitating a meaningful dialogue within society about addressing its deeply rooted patriarchal values is also critical to preventing crime against women. Beyond the courtroom drama, the Nirbhaya case ignited a movement. It sparked conversations about gender-based violence, inspiring individuals to break the silence and demand a safer society for all. The echoes of Nirbhaya's tragedy continue to reverberate, reminding us of the urgent need for societal introspection and change. Thank you for watching till the end. Before you go, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to avoid missing another video. Thanks for watching.